As a CEO of a high technology company in the rail industry, I get asked all the time, what's going to happen? What does the future look like? So that's what we're going to talk about today. One of the biggest decisions you will ever make is whether you're going to invent or not. So make sure you take that decision very seriously. They're big trends, and each one of them affects the other, sort of a cascade effect. First one I'll talk about is the Internet of Trains is coming. Now, of course, you're familiar with the Internet of Things. Well, the Internet of Trains is almost here, and in some trains, in the higher technology trains that are already Internet connected, and the locomotive is interconnected with the cars and with the central dispatch and so forth. The producers will be able to link in with the shippers, which will link in with the railroads and the locomotives, and in an almost real-time basis. They'll know where their products are, they'll know when they're going to arrive. They'll be able to do health monitoring, if you will, on the products that are on the train, see how they're doing, see if they're sustaining damage, if they're cars, or it could be spoilage, if it's a refrigerated car. It could be any number of things. And so the Internet of Trains is coming in a very big way. Now, that's the opportunity, but here's the threat, and here's the danger in that, which is the second trend. Cyber security problems are coming to the transportation industry in a very big way, because I don't know if you remember this movie. It was, I believe it was in the 80s. It was called Under Siege 2 with Steven Seagal, where the train was like running away and they were controlling the train, and terrorists had control of it. Well, that seemed like a fantasy at the time, and actually it was. I know something about how trains operate. In those days, it couldn't have been done, but today it can be. Now, the transportation industry, and particularly the rail industry, I can tell you, are taking these threats very seriously. But as they enable trains and the transport of cargo and goods to be connected to the Internet of Things, then that increases that security risk. And so they're going to have to increase their security measures. They're going to have to put more robust firewalls in place, and they're going to have to limit the capabilities that they build into these Internet of Trains, because that also brings with it a risk that they probably don't want to take. Now, the third major trend is the Chinese are coming. The Chinese are coming to America. The day is coming very soon where you'll see Chinese airplanes in the sky and you'll see Chinese locomotives on the rails. It's coming very, very soon, and anybody who doesn't believe that, trust me, that is going to happen. I'll give you an example. In the United States, in a locomotive, one guy makes the wheels and axles, one guy makes the electronics, one guy makes the cab, one guy makes the cars that come behind it. But in China, that's all done by one horizontally integrated company that does everything. And it's going to be hard to compete against them because it's government subsidized, and they don't have to make a profit. So when they do bring their locomotives that are now tried and sophisticated and reliable to the United States rail operators are going to start to buy them. And people say to me, oh, no, not in the rail industry. They will never buy a Chinese locomotive. Well, all kinds of Chinese products are already all over the locomotives of the United States fleet. And so it's only a matter of time before they integrate themselves up and they convince the rail industry that their sophisticated electronic packages will work with their existing fleet, and then you'll see all kinds of Chinese locomotives in the United States. Now, the fourth trend I see is the disruptors are coming to the rail industry. They'll have Uber trains. Now, that sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? But didn't the idea of Uber sound kind of silly 10 years ago? If you're a shipper or you're a producer, and all you got to do is get on your iPhone and order an Uber train, one train with one car to come into your place, take your products and goods and services and move them out, and then you know exactly where it is. Now, when you're getting picked up by an Uber driver, you know how far away he is. You know when he's going to arrive. You know what his license plate number is. You know what the color of his car is, what his picture looks like. Imagine all that in the transportation industry, and imagine all that in the locomotive industry. So things like Uber are coming to disrupt the whole entire industry in ways that people couldn't possibly imagine now. Just think about the iPhone. 15 years ago, who could have imagined what the iPhone is morphed into? And that's what's going to happen in the future. So knowing these trends are coming, you're a CEO, what should you do about it? First of all, make sure that there aren't any threats for your business, which there probably are. That's the first thing you have to attend to. Then the second thing is, what product opportunities do these bring? What can you do to increase cybersecurity? Now, first thing you might say is, I don't do that kind of work. Well, maybe you should. Just take a look at what opportunities present themselves because of these trends. And if you want any help on that, just call me. I'll be happy to help you.